There have been a lot of people who've gotten on YouTube and broadcast their reactions, their reflections upon uh, Nick Fuentes and his interview with that English feller. And what I had to say was kind of at the risk of making this about me, but I had real deja vu when I was watching that interview, because some of you might remember 5 years ago, no, almost 5 years ago, it was in the summer of 2021 that I did an interview with Luke Ford. I had just written a novel that I had published with Terror House, and I was eager to talk about it. It was a novel called The Insurrectionist, and Luke had been somebody that I had a couple of conversations with before, and never had any problem with. And when I went out, even when I made my trip to LA in 2019, we ended up meeting up for lunch one time, and I mean, I knew he had his eccentricities and whatnot. I knew he had certain things, certain aspects of his personal story that I don't know, or maybe that some people suspected as him not being on the totally up and up. But I'd never had any difficulty with him at all. And suddenly that day, when we talked, um, I was being held up for ridicule by him, because I talked about how I told him my thoughts the about C-19 and about the lockdown and about what I called the Baj then. Now I'm going to be so bold as to call it the so-called vaccine. This was around the time that the vax mandates were really coming into focus, and I was very outspoken against all of that, and he treated me with enormous condescension, um, and treated me and basically said that I was, you know, recorded a short video after our talk where he said, I used to be a conspiracy theorist because it meant that I could see through the bullshit, and then I realized I was just, I was just kind of being a loser, and then I was a loser, and I was losing all my friends, but at least I could see through the bullshit. And then he sort of told his own story and said, but so then I stopped being a conspiracy theorist because I realized it was just a crutch, because I maybe was a loser, but at least I could see through the bullshit. And the implication was very clear. He was saying that about me, and he made a bunch of references to me being lonely, me being isolated, me being unhappy, me, just sort of like my oh, Andy, your life is falling apart, but you've had all of these difficulties, and yeah, and it was sort of it became this very frustrating, ugly sort of mess of a would-be interview where I thought I was going to be able to hype up my book at least, and get some people interested. And that his viewers, however few there were of them, would maybe be interested in my book. I thought he was going to do me a solid and help me promote it, but instead it became something very different. And boy, if I didn't, if there weren't, if I wasn't seeing the exact same kind of dynamic afoot with Piers Morgan First of all, needlessly bringing up Nick's father, you know, basically doxing Nick's father, who's not in the public eye, who has nothing to do with anything. Cheap shot, low blow, you know, not right. And Nick was not okay with it, and he should not have been okay with it. And so that was bad enough. And then later, there's this whole bit about how you're a virgin, aren't you? You're a virgin. You're just a virgin. You've never been with a woman, have you? And like just going on and on about that, and like that was a real gotcha. Like, oh, you feel this way about women, about that you don't think women should vote, and you have certain opinions about feminism and about modern women, but you're just a virgin, aren't you? There was so much deja vu there. Admittedly, with like probably a million times more people watching than watched my interview with Luke Ford back in 2021. But the similarities were so striking insofar as the entire dynamic of it, the way that Piers was setting himself up as some kind of know-it-all, and was just talking down to Nick in this particularly. I mean, it was intended to be grating. I think it was